Welcome back, surf fans. Do not cross the yellow tape. Things are getting wild here on the beach at sunset. We are live. This is the Vans World Cup of Surfing. Chris Cote here with Ross Williams, who survived his term as board caddy in the previous heat for young Wyatt McHale. Wyatt made it through the heat. So did you, Ross. Give us your first-hand experience from the channel. It looked pretty hectic.
Yeah, Wyatt squeezed through the heat. It was really tough. There was a massive kind of cleanup set right at the beginning of the heat that made it really difficult. And here we go. It looks like we got L.Shepardson.
Yeah, we're right back at it. This potentially the last heat of the day. So for Bernardo, who's definitely one of those QS grinders, this could be a huge opportunity. Here we go. Surfer in white, S.Paishon, aka Shell Dog Vidor. This guy has been on a tear, traveling, competing. He is kind of partnered up with Mason Ho to take on the world. Been really fun to watch. That will be his first wave ridden. That one kind of just probably a positional play. Ross, you can use waves to your advantage to get yourself into the proper takeoff zone, correct?
And then when we were there, we started to catch one or two waves, and then after that there was just this huge set, and you could see it was closing out the whole time, then set again, and it was keep going like that the whole heat. So it was like pretty weird.
And they call it a game of cat and mouse out at sunset, but a lot of surfers are using lineups on the beach, whether it's a house or something up on the cliff. What do you use to stay in position on a day like today?
Yeah, I have my setup as well with house and trees and everything, but I feel like we had the right setup, but then as soon as one wave pass out, the current take you deep. Thought everyone was going, and then they always pull back at last second, so it's always tricky to paddle or not. You don't want to lose your priority as well. So it's always like a tricky game as well.
Well, let me be honest, it looks really hard out there, but you did make it into round two, so we'll see how this swell progresses over the next few days, and we can't wait to see what you bring to the table. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Folky. You can hear it in his voice right there. Maxime Houchino is a cool character, very calm under pressure. To hear him that excitable, to hear that frenetic energy in his voice, you know something just kind of changed out in the lineup. This is what Marty Thomas and our Deputy Commissioner Travis Logie has been watching all day, making sure that it's contestable and rideable. And once these surfers do get up on a wave, there's plenty of open face to work with, maybe more than enough. So the scores have been coming through. This is going to be the last heat of the day, heat 16, last heat of round 1. And Ross, are these going to be the same swells and the same waves that we're going to see surfers riding at Jaws potentially tomorrow?
I mean, on your screen right here, we're looking at maybe 4 to 6 hours apart from Oahu to Maui. So, I mean, this will be hitting this evening and through the night.
Most dominant performance we saw on the day, Billy Kemper immediately fled the beach with 10-foot boards in the back of his truck, and he's on a flight to Maui as we speak. Quick look at L.Shepardson. Big snap there. Unruly wave in front of it. Another local surfer, S.Paishon. He's found a little gem, or I should say a big gem out here. It's a wide open playing field. This wave growing down the line. You see all the speed behind him, hanging on with his heels. So nicely done for L.Shepardson and S.Paishon racing out of the lineup. A lot of them most likely will be riding 7.6s, 8.0s. I mean, guys bring out the big lumber when the waves get this size just to get into the waves. You see right there, J.Baker squeaks into this wave. Nice open face snap. Using the force of the wave to his advantage, gets up and under the lip, gets too greedy in where he placed his turn.
On J.Baker, but you're right, they did miss each other. So no harm, no foul. And here goes the Aussie. This is actually a pretty good wave. One snap, right underneath it, comes around and actually gets a second one, and that's just gnarly right there.
Knocked in the face by Sunset Beach. 7:19, V.Bernardo now fighting for a 2.77. He could have a good section to work with here as he makes his way through to this inside. He goes up to the lip. Watch out! J.Baker right underneath him as he flies over him.
It starts breaking so far out. I mean, literally about a quarter mile out to sea. Waves will start breaking out there. It's potentially even see some tow surfers out there later this evening. As we see, it looks like V.Bernardo, and there's that wipeout you're talking about, Chris. He just has to make sure he doesn't paddle himself out of position. He has to give himself a shot.
Well, in fourth place now, J.Baker muscling through an oncoming section. A big turn there. No, Jackson Baker only looking for a 3.71. He could have just fought his way back into this heat. He's still going through. No, it just blows him out the back. 1:38 to go. Where is Sheldon Paishon?
That's going to happen
for him. Makes me nervous.
This is the wave in question here. A bizarre move there, but just making it happen under the lip, and another little turn there. A lot of action around him, which made it exciting. It's not out of the question for him. Where is he at right there? He needs a 3.7. Here we go. He's paddling for one, Chris.
All right, using his priority. This is Sheldon Paishon needing a 3.51 for now. Bit of a good run on it. Just to get out of the way of that first section. One quick snap. Straightens out there. That was a tough wave for Sheldon Paishon.
He needed a move. You know, he needed to, crank a nice little turn there. Some kind of a gouge or a hack. Just a something, just a section to let him. So you got to get some sort of an arc. Straight right there, looking for that wave to open up. Just a semi-check turn right there, and the wave closes out. So a bit unlucky there.
And I think he's going to get the attention of the judges. He does. A 4.33. That knocks Sheldon Paishon all the way down into 4th place. Heartbreaking finish for a surfer who was on a roll. It's going to be it for Sheldon Paishon and V.Bernardo. And officially, Jackson Baker and L.Shepardson will move through. We mentioned at the very beginning of the heat, and since this will be the last time we see Sheldon Paishon.